Andre Drummond speaks for the first time since being traded from the Detroit Pistons to the Cleveland Cavaliers. And it's not that far of a drive. I drive to Cleveland sometimes. But let's talk about what he said. And shout out to Detroit News. They got the interview. I'll put that article link in the description, but that's what I'll be reading from. Shout out to Rob Beard. Really good follow on Twitter as well. He got the article, or the interview, in. Before we get into it, make sure you hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video. If you like my content, check my other sports channel out, Goodfellas Sports TV, for more sports, music, news, and entertainment. And basically, this is what Drummond had to say. I thought it was a joke at first, but obviously, when it all settled in, I'm truly excited to be somewhere that I'm wanted. Drummond told reporters after his first practice with the Cavaliers. I'm really excited to be starting a new chapter here. Okay? And obviously, he did the tweet about there being no loyalty. And if you didn't see my video on that, he said, if there's one thing I learned about the NBA, there's no friends or loyalty. I give him my heart and soul to the Pistons, and to have this happen, I don't know what he was thinking, with no heads up, makes me realize even more that this is just a business. I love you, Detroit. Okay. He was asked whether he took the small return as a sign of disrespect, but he seemed to be more focused on the future than the past with the Pistons. I'm looking forward to playing in the Cleveland Cavaliers jersey, Drummond said. I'm excited to be there, and everything happens for a reason. Drummond said that he spoke to former Pistons teammates Reggie Jackson and Blake Griffin about what to expect after being traded for the first time, and they gave him some insight about what he should do and how to approach being on a new team. He had a welcoming atmosphere with Love, who has the same agent, and Tristan Thompson, who had dinner with Drummond on Friday night. And what's so funny about Tristan Thompson, there's been rumors that he might get bought out now that Andre Drummond there. He can end up with maybe the Boston Celtics. But John Beilein also reacted as well, too. And he says, I love so many parts of his game, and we'll retool it a little bit and try to figure out where we go in practice by practice and game by game. Beilein said, it's exciting. And what I like best is how Tristan and Kevin have reacted to it. And also the GM, Altman, he reacted as well. And he's known Drummond going back a decade from USA Basketball. He said, this is a player we've always coveted, Altman said during a conference call with reporters on Friday. He just gives us a dimension we haven't had in quite some time. We just thought it was an unbelievable opportunity to our franchise and for our players to play alongside Andre. I think everyone is pretty excited to welcome him with open arms and looking forward to having a fun 30 games to end the season here. All right. And I don't know what dimension he talked about. I guess having a true 5, because Tristan Thompson is like an undersized power forward, and Kevin Love is different from Andre Drummond as well, but they all three can rebound the basketball. But I do think he means an actual 5. That's a natural fit there, the GM Altman said. But you know what? It's a business. And he said he was shocked. He was in disbelief. I mean, I just don't get it. How can you be in disbelief when you told the organization your next move? And your next move was, I can't wait to be a free agent and opt out. You was going around beating your drum saying, I can't wait to opt out. I can't wait to opt out. I can't wait to be a free agent. You know what I'm saying? So that's what you was going around saying, okay? That's what you was doing. You was telling the organization your next move. So how is Andre Drummond truly in disbelief? And it's been trade rumors swirling around him for around a month. You know what I'm saying? And he said, I gave my heart and my soul to this team. Well, a lot of people tend not to believe that. I mean, the narrative around here is you don't play hard all the time. You soft. You scared to mix it up and be rough and tough. You don't play good offense. You didn't expand your offensive game. You was working on three-pointers instead of working on your post game and working the inside out. Your defense was never there. When it came down to Joel Embiid and Jared Allen and guys like that, they come here and dog you out. So how are you in disbelief? And if you gave your heart and your soul to this organization, you gave a whole heart effort night in, night out, which most people don't believe you did, then, hey, if that was your best effort, then we glad to get rid of you. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, it's not completely his fault. The Pistons didn't build a structure around Andre Drummond where he could be successful. And like I said before, going to Detroit to Cleveland, It's the same exact thing. The same shit, just a different toilet. In a different area. He needed to go to somewhere like the Clippers, Boston. He needed to go to a situation where there was championship caliber coaches, there was championship caliber expectations, there was all-stars around Andre Drummond, and guys that knew, how to create a winning and a positive atmosphere around Andre Drummond. Drummond been in an organization that's been stuck in the mud, stuck in quicksand, just in the same place every year in and year out. It's not his fault. Completely. It's like going to a job every day and giving them your best, your compensation. Are you getting compensated? You getting raises every now and again, but it's a dead end. Drummond went as far as his abilities can go with the Detroit Pistons. And that's just the fact. And people saying, I'm done with the organization after this and that, and they attach to Drummond, but Drummond, the organization didn't do him no favors, and Drummond didn't work on his game to do the organization no favors. If Drummond became dominant defensively or dominant offensively, Drummond with that rebounding, Drummond and his athletic ability and durability, Drummond would have a max contract. But I'm still trying to think, how is this surreal to him? How is it a shock to him? You know what I'm saying? You were so happy to be a free agent. Now it's talks, and I talked about it yesterday. It's talks that he may opt back in. It's expecting him to pick up his $28 million option. Because the market ain't what his agent anticipated it would be. So if teams don't hold Andre Drummond to high regard, why do some people in Detroit? Why people can't see it? When he's 20-20, they celebrating on the internet. But when it was down to that Milwaukee series and he was supposed to take us and dominate that series, he disappeared. You didn't hear none of these dudes talking, making videos. You didn't hear none of these dudes laying into Andre Drummond like they should have. And that's the God honest truth. Drummond was not going to be the best player on the Detroit Pistons and win a playoff series. It just wasn't going to happen. Now, Cleveland might be different. They got Darius Garland. They got Colin Sexton. They got the kid, what is his name? Kevin Long, I think it is, out of USC. They got some perimeter players that can penetrate and really, really score on the perimeter. Detroit ain't really had no great perimeter players. The best one they probably had was Marcus Morris and Tobias Harris. They don't have the penetrators. They never had the point guards. I think Brandon Jennings was good for them when Brandon Jennings got comfortable here. But after that, it was a wrap. They didn't have the players around them. And hopefully, Cleveland, they sound like they happy to have him there. And they got a plan to have him there. And I think if some of their perimeter players develop, I think they can get the most out of Andre Drummond too. But then again, they fans going to be saying the same thing we seeing. It's the same situation. If their players don't develop, Andre Drummond needed to go to an established team with championship aspirations. That's what would have been best for Andre. And that's when you would have seen Andre at his best. But so many other people around the league and anonymous executives, they're saying he's soft, he a quitter, he don't have a playoff experience. And people seen in the Milwaukee Bucks series last year that he didn't show up. They seen that. The Pistons should have traded Drummond at the trade deadline last year with Blake Griffin. And you look what they got him. But obviously Cleveland happy to have a candy corn right now. But I think this was a bad move for Andre Drummond if some of those players in Cleveland don't develop. And they've been having some issues in the locker room, like when John Beilein called some of the players thugs. See how they swept that under the rug. They've been having, issues where the players saying they don't like Beilein's coaching style, the college coaching style. You got Kevin Love that's been trying to cry his way out of Cleveland after signing that contract extension and not wanting to honor it. You had last year when Colin Sexton was a rookie, and the veterans was going to the media saying that he didn't know how to play basketball, and they ripped him. So that ain't the strongest locker room he going to, and that ain't a better organization they going to neither. They got a lot of young talent, but that ain't a strong organization going to. That was Andre Drummond smart to if it's really about the money, opt in and try to prove himself, but he need to go somewhere where, they got things in place for him to be successful. And I think if they got guards and veteran wings around him, Drummond can be very, very successful in this league. But hey, I linked the article in the description. Don't forget we on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can reach out to the email if you want a business question, inquiry, sponsorship, video request. Keep sharing the videos. Appreciate the love, support. Check our Piston playlist. Don't forget check out the channel Wild Goodfellas Sports TV for more sports, music, news, and entertainment. Let me know how you feel in the comment section. One time for the one time. Mercy Sports Talk. We gone.